Telecommuting entered the public interest in the 1990s after Microsoft launched Microsoft Office. Remember Clippy? The advent of the personal computer inspired a wave of digital enthusiasts, dreamers, and dot-com entrepreneurs, at least until the bust, who imagined a different future. As Woody Leonard, a 1990s blogger and author of those bright yellow Windows for Dummies books, once said, "Work is something you do, not something you travel to." This is truer than ever today. Since then, this utopian dream of being able to work from anywhere, at any time, without the grating aspects of office life, commuting, micromanagement, bleak office parks, smelly lunches, loud talkers, has moved in fits and starts. Behavior is notoriously hard to change, hence all the gym memberships purchased in January that grow dormant by March. Our habitual nature is partially why remote work has stayed on the fringes, despite the technical capabilities being in place. Sure, there had been hype around digital nomadism and beachfront co-working hubs on Instagram. No complaints here. We would be lying if we said there was no photo evidence of us working at a beachfront cafe. But the real mass movement to remote working happened in 2020, when COVID-19 turned the world upside down. Knowledge workers and their organizations were slingshot into the future with little preparation and lots of panic. There were Band-Aid solutions and emergency transition plans, and then back to office plans, later reneged as the pandemic carried on. We'll remember the early 2020s as the years we survived by adapting to remote work. But before we potentially send you down the memory lane of rough patches with remote work, we want to remind you that you likely practiced some form of remote working even before the pandemic. It was a common theme as we interviewed remote work experts across the globe, and upon reflection, it applied to us as well. Let's take a look at their stories for inspiration. You may find you've already been flexing your remote muscles too. Remote origin stories. The frequent flyer. Tam Sanderson, yes, one of the two names on the cover, decided there must be a better way after spending her first year as a management consultant flying to and from Dallas in 2006. She ended her lease on her uptown apartment in 2007, where she rarely was, and started living in hotels near her consulting projects, and with friends and family when back in the United States. Her homes were the Sheraton Hotel in El Salvador and the Four Points in Zurich. She bopped between London and Dublin, cue the movie Up in the Air, except there was no George Clooney, exploring bits of Europe and North Africa in between. She didn't realize she was working remotely, even though she was flying back to her home office only once a quarter. All she needed were her BlackBerry and laptop computer. While she had yet to learn the art of traveling lightly, she kept 2 rolling suitcases in the luggage check at her hotel, she had opened her eyes to a fundamental truth. In many cases, you can untether your work from your location. The freelancer. While freelancer is often associated with the digital nomad, we found in our conversations that many freelancers started working remotely out of necessity. For example, Stasiek Kolerzowski, founder of Pilot, a payroll and benefits platform, was hired by a local marketing agency in Poland to make digital animations. But there was one problem. Stasiek was still in high school. I had to go to lessons. I couldn't go to the office. So we had an agreement. I was the only person on the team who could work flexible hours and from home. I met them in person every few months because we were in the same city, but besides that, I worked from home. It was great, super flexible. They only cared about deadlines, so I could organize myself and work from my hub. Likewise, Andrew Gobrin of Doist found himself freelancing in college. I designed prezzies for people all over the world. At the time, I never thought, oh, this is a remote role. But I developed many skills, like communication across cultures and time zones, managing individual autonomy, and having responsibilities and owning them.